Good evening, everyone, and welcome to our lecture for this evening. The lecture is titled Rediscovery of Vanda thwaitesii after 160 years, a hidden botanical gem. And our speaker tonight is Mr. Bhathiya Gopallawa, who is a PhD candidate at the University of Peradeniya. Bhathiya is a plant taxonomist and ecologist, specializing in tropical flora conservation. He's currently reading for his PhD in plant sciences at the Postgraduate Institute of Science, University of Peradeniya, focusing on the biogeography and phylogenetics of piper species in Sri Lanka. He has over 8 years of botanical research and conservation work, particularly with the National Herbarium and the Department of National Botanic Gardens. So there's a lot more to say about Bhathiya, but I think I will stop now and hand over to him to give us this, as he calls, a captivating journey behind the rediscovery of Vanda thwaitesii, a Sri Lankan orchid thought to be extinct for over 160 years. Learn how historical botany, field ecology, citizen science, and conservation efforts converged, confirm the survival of this elusive species in the Knuckles range, and what this rediscovery means for Sri Lanka's native biodiversity. Over to you, Bhathiya.
Thank you, Dr. Napa, and very good evening to all of you. So, first of all, let me. I will first of all I will introduce our team. Although I am presenting behalf of our team, there are a lot of people behind this work. So first one is Professor Bhathiya Kandawala. She is a senior professor of Department of Botany in University of Peradeniya, and also Dr. Subhani Ranasinghe. She was the deputy director of the National Herbarium, and you all know Dr. Himesh Jayasinghe, who is a research fellow of National Institute of Fundamental Studies. And also, at last, Mr. Indakila Madula, who is also a PhD candidate of Vanda University of Sri Lanka. These are the co-authors of this publication. There were more people behind this work, and I will mention them at the later part of this lecture. So, this will be the roadmap of my presentation or the lecture. So I will be discussing about the orchids of Sri Lanka and about the genus Vanda, and also the historical background of this species, and about this rediscovery, and also morphology and taxonomy, ecology, and also conservation status and significance of this finding, and also what are the next steps or the way forward. So, as you all know, Sri Lanka is a moderate sized island. Because of climatic heterogeneity and the topography, it consists of large, big biodiversity. Sri Lanka, together with Western Ghats, considered to be one of biodiversity hotspots. And in terms of floristic diversity, Sri Lanka consists of 3,087 angiosperm species, which belongs to 186 plant families. These numbers are based on the recently published national rate list. So Now these numbers has gone up because of the recent publication of one of our authors, Dr. Himesh Jayasinghe. So he has published another 200 species, which all considered to be an endemic species. So these numbers will go up in the next publication. So among the 3,000 species, it's almost 30% are endemic to Sri Lanka. Then we move on to the family Orchidaceae. So the family Orchidaceae is the largest angiosperm family in the world, which consists of more than 30,000 species. In context of Sri Lankan flora, uh, it is considered as the second largest family because the family Phoeaceae has more species than family Orchidaceae. So it's we have about 200 native species recorded, and out of those 200, 35 species, 35% of species are considered to be an endemics. So considering about the habitats and the habit, so you can find from coastal region to mountain cloud forest, you can find these orchids. If we consider about the habit, at the first picture, you can see, I think you have heard about Nagamaruwala, is Ipsia speciosa. It's a kind of terrestrial orchid species. And also there are epiphytes and also some semi-parasitic species and also some lithophytes. And likewise, there are variety of in terms of habits of these orchids in Sri Lanka. When considering about the conservation status of orchids in Sri Lanka, we have these numbers are based on the National Red List 2020. So out of 193 species mentioned in the Red List, it's almost 68% species are considered to be threatened species. That means they belongs to critically endangered or vulnerable. Also, in National Red List 2020, uh, there are 5 species mentioned as critically endangered and possibly extinct plants. So, Vanda thwaitesii also one of those critically endangered and possibly extinct plant species. When considering about the cultural and medicinal and also economic importance of orchids in Sri Lanka, uh, most of orchids, some of orchids are used in the traditional medicine, and also it has a lot of horticultural values, and also uh, it has a kind of attraction towards tourism, and also it's valuable in floriculture industry. So as I mentioned earlier, there are a lot of orchids used in traditional medicine. You can see at the left side of this slide, those are the uh, orchid species, which is locally known as Raja. I think you have heard about Vanaraja, Iraraja, and other Sandaraja and Guru Raja. So at the first picture, numbered, labeled A, it is Vanaraja. So it's an anactocylus cetaceous. Then second one is Siusin regina silvi. It's Iruraja, or it's also called Iriraja. And the third one is, you can see it here, it's called Sandaraja. So it's used in Regia. The last one is Malaxis bicolor. It's called as Guruluraj. Also, the species labeled as H, Rhincostylus retusa, it's also called as Guruluraj. But according to the Vanavasa Nigandua, the most suitable species for Guruluraj is this Malaxis species. And you can see at the middle, it's called Vanda tessellata. It's locally known as Rasana or Rasna. It's also kind of medicinal plant and also a plant used in horticultural industry. At the bottom, you can see Dendrobium mccarthy. It's called Vesakmal. And at the right side of the slide, you can see Guruluraja. It's also the provincial plant of the Uva province. So considering about this genus Vanda, around the globe, there are about 89 species have been recorded. It has wide range of distribution from South Asia to Southeast East Asia, and also this genus is found in Australia. So, but in Australian region, there is only one species found. It is called Vanda hinsi. So next we move on to the genus Vanda, which is found in Sri Lanka. So in Sri Lanka, we have only 4 species for this genus. First one is the most common one. It is called Vanda testacea, and second one is Vanda tessellata. Those are the common species found in dry, intermediate, and also in the arid zone of Sri Lanka. These 2 species also found in this Southeast Asian region as well. Here comes the most rare species. First one is Vanda thwaitesii. So it is now considered to be considered as data deficient species. This species considered as like native species because of the original publication of this Vanda thwaitesii include one specimen collected from Sri Lanka under CP number 2346, which has mentioned it was collected from Sri Lanka. The last one is Vanda thwaitesii. It was considered as critically endangered and possibly extinct plant in 2020 National Red List. Also, there was another species which was included in this genus earlier. This is called earlier this was called as Vanda spatulata. Now this species has been moved into a separate monotypic genus. It's called Taprobania. So Taprobania spatulata is the only species found in this genus. So it has it's also found in India. Let's we move on to the historical timeline of this Vanda thwaitesii. So, former superintendent of Royal Botanic Gardens, Henry Thwaites, was the first one who described this species. But he described this species as Aeridis in different name. It's called Aeridis tessellatum. So this was the first publication related to this species. So uh, he described this species based on the illustrations made by uh, the draftman of uh, National Herbarium, Mr. Haramanis the Allis. I will show you the drawings in the next slide. So it has mentioned in the protocol description, it has mentioned that it was collected from Hunaskiriya district. So, however, there were no specimens available, only these two drawings were available for this description. In this slide, you can see those historical drawings made by the Harmanis Diallis. The left one is these two drawings are kept under same number. It's CP 3378. CP means those are Ceylon plants. So Henry Thwaites described this species as Aeridis tessellatum erroneously, but later it was identified this Aeridis tessellatum is a synonym of Vanda tessellata. So it was it's a different species. So next, after initial description by Henry Thwaites, then J.T. Hooker, who is a British botanist and also an explorer, which he also a close friend of Charles Darwin as well. So in his book regarding the handbook to the flora of Ceylon, he described this species as Vanda thwaitesii. So it was in 1898. So this was the first instance that this Vanda thwaitesii name came in. So Hooker described this as Vanda thwaitesii in honor of Henry Thwaites. Also, Hooker's description also based on the drawings made by the Allis, because there were no specimens available. Almost for a 20th century, there were no sightings or confirmed sightings or specimens available from Sri Lanka. Because of that, DMA Jaivira has mentioned this species could be extinct in Sri Lanka. It has mentioned in the revised handbook of flora of Ceylon. But in India, so earlier this species considered to be an endemic species to Sri Lanka. But however, in India, from Kerala, Dr. Satish Kumar and Suresh Kumar, who are the botanist, rediscovered this species from Silent Valley and northern parts of Kerala. This was published in 1998, but initially the specimens were collected around 1982. So they have ignored these collections, considering it as Vanda tessellata. So with this publication, the distribution range was changed into so the endemic status of this species to Sri Lanka has been revised. Then in Sri Lanka, Dr. Suranjan Fernando, who worked with Sri Lankan orchid species, has mentioned that although this species has been not recorded, but the type locality has enough forest coverage. Because of that, this plant could be still possible in this habitat. So this was from the annotated checklist of orchids of Sri Lanka. Then in 2012, the National Red List of Flora was published, and in that publication, this Vanda thwaitesii is mentioned as critically endangered and possibly extinct plant. As you know, in red list categorization, uh, if a plant species has been not recorded more than 100 years, it's called critically endangered and possibly extinct plant. If a plant species has not been recorded more than 150 years, it's called an extinct plant. So although this species has been not recorded from not recorded around 150 years, still they kept this as critically endangered and possibly extinct plant species in this red list. Exactly 2 years after, there was a newspaper article that one of orchid enthusiasts, Mr. Ajanta Palihawadana, has rediscovered this species. However, apart from that newspaper publication, there were no scientific publication, and also there were no herbarium specimens available regarding his discovery. And also, if you closely look at those that photograph, you can see this lip is totally different from original Vanda thwaitesii. So this could be more closely related to Endotestaceae, or it can be either a hybrid of Vanda testaceae. And again, in 2020, during the preparation of Red List 2020, from the expert committee, it was proposed that this species has to be declared as an extinct species. However, just before this publication is going to be printed, I got an information, so I will tell that story later. Because of that, this species kept under this critically endangered and possibly extinct category. Then, in 2021, Dr. Martin Mortis, who is a world-renowned orchid breeder and also an author who works on Vanda orchids, he has described the Vanda species found in India as a separate species. So it's called Vanda satishi. This Vanda satishi name has Vanda satishi name given because of the original author who rediscovered this plant from India. However, Motis has to validate this description because he has not mentioned a type specimen. Type specimen. Because of that publication, now Vanda thwaitesii has considered as an extinct species because there are no confirmed records for this species for almost more than 160 years. And also this Indian species, earlier they called it as Vanda thwaitesii, but now it's called Vanda satishi. So also because of that, because of the restricted distribution of this species, because of these facts, this species was considered as an extinct species. Now, let's we move on to the interesting part of this rediscovery. So, there in Facebook, we have a group called Osupala Handuna Ganimu for medicinal plant identification. So I'm managing this group as an admin. So in that group, there was a photograph. You can see it in uh, bottom of the slide. So this was shared by Mr. Pradeep Koditwappu, who is living in Rangala area. So he has also sent me the photograph for my messenger. So from this species, we can't get an exact idea, but this was enough to suspect this species as Vanda thwaitesii. Because of this photograph, Mr. Pradeep mentioned that he was getting continuous calls and requests about this plant, and also they were offering a large amount of money for this plant. So after that photograph, we did the site visit in Rangala Knuckles area. So that specimen was brought into the nursery of the Department of National Botanic Gardens under National Botanical Survey. At that time, I was working in the National Herbarium as an officer. So this activity was uh, performed under permission of the Forest Department. And also, we did some revisit for this site. Because of that, we were able to find few plants available around his home garden. So this is the first, this is the specimen. It was available in Mr. Pradeep's home. Then we kept this specimen in the nursery for almost a year, and first flowering was observed in April 2021. There were only 3 flowers available uh, when it was flowered, and you all know that if we are going for publication, we need a herbarium specimen. But uh, because this specimen is the only one available, we only did the dissection of one flower, and we got photographs for taxonomic verification, and also we did another thing that we pollinated the remaining 2 flowers by using a paintbrush. Then, after this was pollinated, we were able to get 2 seed pods. So these seeds were propagated, these were given to the Floriculture Department of Department of National Botanic Gardens, and they did the seed germination, and it was at the initial stage it was successful, and those plants were remained about 1 to 2 months. Uh, However, due to at that time, the COVID pandemic was there. However, these plants were died after a few months for unknown reason. We move on to the morphology of this species. This, as I mentioned earlier, this species this species is an epiphyte. It If we compare it with Vanda tessellata, so this Vanda thwaitesii is smaller in size, and also it has thick, fleshy, and V-shaped bifid apex. You can see in here, and also in inflorescence, it has only about 2 to 3 flowers in yellowish brown color. And also, you can see in the petals, there are tessellation marks, and also fruit has 6 rich capsules. It's about 6 to 12 centimeters. Although Hooker has described this Vanda thwaitesii based on these 2 drawings available under CP 3378. He has not mentioned a type specimen. Because of that, we also designated a type specimen. It is at the left side of this slide. We choose this drawing because as type specimen because of because it's having dissected parts of the flower. So if we compare this Vanda thwaitesii with Vanda satyshi, Vanda satyshi has, which is an Indian species, Vanda satyshi has kind of large plants and also different colors of this plant. You can see Vanda satyshi at the left side. And also, Vanda thwaitesii shows distinct tessellation. This you can see tessellation marks. But in Vanda satyshi, it doesn't have the marked tessellations. And also, Vanda thwaitesii has clawed petals and sepals. You can see it from here. But in Vanda satyshi, these petals and sepals are kind of flat in shape, and also the spur in the spur, Vanda thwaitesii has distinct yellow callus, which is not prominently present in Vanda satyshi. And also leaf apex also different in these 2 species. So considering about habitat of this species, as I mentioned earlier, this was found in along riverine forest habitat along Uluganga, and it was available on top of Mangifera helnica, which is locally known as Atamber, and also at the top of Mesua Feria, it's called locally known as Na. So this was the original habitat. at the first picture, you can see in here, you can see one of Vanda thwaitesii plants available. I can show you some videos as well about the habit. So this is part of this is a branch of Puluganga, and in the second video you can see the same plant I showed you. So considering about the distribution of the species, as I mentioned earlier, this was originally found from Hunnasgiri area of the Nagas region, and the rediscoveries from Nagas from the same location, same range, it's from Rangala area. So as I mentioned earlier, this population has less than 10 mature individuals, and also this species, this location is not within a protected area. So in this publication, we also did a IUCN assessment based on the IUCN guidelines. So by this assessment, overall, this species listed as critically endangered. Earlier, it was considered as critically endangered and possibly extinct, and now it's recognized as a critically endangered species under B1AB, this category. So this the publication process. The initial manuscript preparation was done in 2020. We have submitted it for 2 journals, but it was rejected because uh, because it was out of their scope. And however, next submission was made for Q Bulletin in March 2024. This publication was this manuscript was published on 10th July 2025. After this publication, the scientific community was well accepted this uh, finding, but however, due to misidentification of this species with common garden plants, uh, the feedback from general public sometimes was not good. So you can see at the left side, there is a species called Gonosumal, arachnid species. It's also closely resembling this Vanda thwaitesii. Because of that, people are saying that this is also found in our home garden. And also the Vanda tessellata, one of common hot garden plants, it's also closely resembling this species. But if you closely look at this lip, you can see uh, these two species have different kind of lips. Uh, for this habitats, there are several threats. The major threat is habitat loss and also degradation and fragmentation of this habitat. And also there is a threat from anthropogenic activities. And also we suspect that this species is lacking from pollinators. So if like Next, we move on to the scientific significance of this finding. Because of this finding, it updates the species distribution records and also clarifies the taxonomic status of these two species, especially Vanda thwaitesii and Vanda satishi. And also, it's valuable for future conservation measures in terms of in situ conservation and also in terms of ex situ conservation. And also, it shows the importance of citizen science and the random observations made by general public, and also it's important for preserving native habitat and potential habitat for this species. As way forward, we are planning to consider about both ex situ and in situ conservation. There are enough publications available for seed germination for this species. So we will attempt all tissue culture and also seed culture programs in future. And also we will make some ex situ collections from the plants which will be propagating. And also we will try to promote this plant as an ornamental plant. And as in situ conservation, we have to get measures on habitat protection. And also if we are able to get enough plants, we can do reintroduction programs to the natural habitats. And also we can engage local communities and also we can strengthen the policy protections regarding orchids. And also these findings can be integrated into national conservation planning, especially you all know that there is a project called environmental sensitive area. So these environmental sensitive area means these areas are sensitive ecosystems, but they are uh, present in the present outside of the protected areas. So these data can be integrated into these programs. And I would like to acknowledge especially Dr. Shalomi Krishnaraja, who is a former Director General of National Botanic Gardens, and also Dr. Achala Attanayake, who was a former Deputy Director of Royal Botanic Gardens, and collaborators, Mr. M.D. Senaratne, and also Research Division of the Department of National Botanic Gardens. And also, especially, I would like to thank Dr. Martin Mortis and Dr. Satish Kumar for providing valuable information regarding differentiation of the Vanda thwaitesii and Vanda satishi. And also, this botanical survey project was funded by the Trust Fund of the National Department of National Botanic Gardens. Those acknowledgements for our work. And for today's lecture, I would like to thank Professor Inoka Kurera and also Mr. Prashant Jayasekar from Sri Lanka National History Society, and also staff members from Plant Science, Department of Plant Science, University of Colombo, and also for the all of the participants from both participated physically here and also those who have joined from joined through the Zoom. So this is end of my presentation. Thank you very much.
So I'd like to congratulate Bhathiya for his amazing findings and sharing his journey with us. Now the Presentation is open for question time. Those on Zoom, you can either unmute or raise your hand and ask a question. Okay.
Outside of the protected area. Yeah. So trying to protect the area part of it and see you work the country. Are you not trying to transfer them to the protected areas? Actually, okay. Actually, this.
You to tell the question.
Okay. He was asking about that. If we are trying to move the plants for the natural habitats, no? Isn't it? Okay. Up to now, we have only about, as I mentioned, 7 to 10 species available, which means those count is based on the observation from the natural habitat, and also that count includes the species which is available in Royal Botanical. So first, what we will be doing is we will try to germinate seeds from this species uh, from that specimen, and once we get enough plants, we will try to reintroduce these species, this plant into natural habitats.
Actually,
She, I will repeat the question. She was asking about how we will identify the pollinators. Actually, madam, we don't need to identify the pollinators because we need to identify the pollinators. But however, for the propagation process, we can do the pollination manually. So we have to do kind of thorough survey regarding this plants in the natural habitat. So it's not easy because these plants are available on the top of trees. So we have to somehow we have to do this.
The natural occurring plant,
Yeah.
which is our 6 or 7
Yeah.
plant
Yeah.
are they all single stems or was there evidence of slumping, branching? And also was there any evidence of previous flowering and seed pods forming?
Yeah. He was asking about the plants occurring in natural habitats. So yes, like for those specimens available in the natural habitats, normally they had single stems, but in if you can remember that video and the photograph, there were some evidence that they were flowering, and also fruiting was observed. So like in the natural habitat, what plants what we observed has only single stem.
So they have been depollinated and.
Yes,
So it
yes,
is-
yes. If
So
I
the question arises, why haven't they spread more?
Yeah, that's the thing. When I was okay. He was asking about why those are not spreading if it is already pollinated. So when I was discussing with Mr. Pradeep Kodituakku, who initially found this plant, he has mentioned that around 2010 there were enough plants available at the top of these mangifera like atomba plants, but For unknown reasons, these populations have declined. So that's why we suspect this species is lacking of pollinators. There may be other reasons, but according to him, these populations are declining continuously.
I have a question.
I think. Actually, he was. I'm sorry, madam. I will give you a chance. He was asking that this species was found in India also, no?
Yeah.
In that species earlier considered as Vanda thwaitesii, but now that species recognized as a different species. Now it's Vanda thwaitesii. Okay, Neela madam, you can say this.
I want to congratulate you on this important documentation, and very nice to meet you. I also wanted to point out that, orchids are very well established that they need fungal, sometimes very host-specific fungal species for germination.
Yes.
So I wonder, how much of that connection is there in trying to repropagate, because everywhere in the world where orchids are disappearing, it's becoming very hard to bring them back because those fungi have disappeared now.
Yeah.
So scientists are trying to figure out how to find
Exactly.
what the host-specific fungi is. So I think orchids, most orchids have very limited distribution areas for this reason, and that is they're also very successful family, but at the same time individual species have small populations, have narrow distributions everywhere in the world, and this fungal connection is a challenge, I think.
Yes. As I mentioned in the presentation, there are some studies about the Indian plant. So I'm not saying that that fungi is relatable for our species, but at least we can rely on that findings and try to propagate this species, this plant.
Thank you.
You said this, you tried, your group tried to propagate this artificially, but the animal plant survives.
Yes. She was asking about the plants that we propagated from the initial seed pod. Actually, initially it was successful. Like seeds were germinated, but somehow it doesn't went like it was remained only for 1 to 2 months. After that, somehow it's totally died. We don't know the reason. At that time, that COVID pandemic also there. So because of that, the people working on the laboratories were not coming sometimes. So because of that, we were unable to propagate or the continue this propagation process. But now we have identified plants also from natural habitats. So we can try obtain seed pods from both natural habitats and also from the nursery, and we will continue with this seed culture procedures. If not, we can continue with the tissue culture procedure. For the tissue culture, it will be easier to do that. But because of lacking of individuals, we are still trying to do the seed culture. Because if we do tissue culture from top of the shoot, that plant will get died. If we can do the tissue culture from roots, that's okay. if we try to do it from the leaves, it will be not necessary.
So with that plant, what you brought to the botanical garden, did it flower again?
Actually, it didn't flower again because initially it was flowered in around 2022, but after that there were no signs of flowering. We are closely observing about this plant.
Is it growing, is it producing more?
Yeah. It's healthily growing. It's also producing roots and also leaves, but because of unknown reason, it didn't flower again. But in the natural habitat, it was available. The flowering was available. But the thing is, we can't reach for that habitat because of those are on the top of the trees. She is asking about the habitat. Actually, madam, these plants are available along the branch of Hulugang area. So it's kind of semi-natural habitat because there are human settlements and also some agriculture activities ongoing. But if we think of the Atambe and Na trees, those are at the edge of the this Hulugang, but those are not actually forest areas, but there are some native vegetation available in this habitat. Yeah. That's the thing. Yeah, it's not like it's not acquired by the people around, but we have to do something regarding this habitat because there are some human settlements around this habitat. So we have to do something. Actually, I discussed it with the forest department, and they said that they can, if something like this is available in a location, they can declare it as a special conservation zone. We can do something like this.
People around this.
Sorry.
The people around the place. Unique one.
Yes, it can be either go in both ways. Like if we aware them.
Repeat the question.
Okay, sorry. Mr. Prashant was asking about the awareing people around the this habitat. If we aware them, yeah, it can be go either way because if they know the importance of this plant, or they will try to extract that from the natural habitat. So Mr. Pradeep knows about this and he is protecting the habitat and the plants. But I think it's better to not aware the people around this location. Yeah. Yeah. We have to be very careful. Yeah.
There is no commercial.
Even for this plant, one I mentioned that Mr. Pradeep is doing the protection thing, but it's better to not aware the people.
You can actually put that ones that we have our experts in our family. They can try to do it.
But the thing is, he was asking about the propagation of the plants, if we have enough specimens. But the thing is, we have, since this is protected under flora and fauna ordinance, we have to get the permission from the wildlife department. We can do it. So I also discussed with private sector, especially with WNPS and other institutes. So they are willing to help us for this. But if you have a good proposal and if you able to get the permission from the wildlife department, maybe we can help.
I think that would be highly dangerous. The moment word gets out that these plants are valuable for
That's the thing.
operation, then you can be people pinching them.
Yeah.
And also, this is from Candy area. It's not going to do very well in the low country.
Yeah. I think those are habitat specific
So it's
plants.
best to be very quiet about it, talk much about it, and not too much interest in them, the local people. And then also the possibility that there be pointers coming and saying.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's why I didn't mention the exact location. So because of that.
Can you go back to your image of the plant, of the flower?
Sure.
Yeah, it has a ghostly image in the middle.
Yeah, at the middle, no? The knuckles area is a kind of cloud forest, but this habitat is not a cloud forest. It's just a riverine habitat. Yeah. It's more like lowland. Yeah.
Thank you, Bhathiya, for that fascinating talk. And may I just call on Dr. Malik Fernando, who is our resident expert on orchids, to deliver the thank you.
Thank you. Actually, I'm not an expert in orchids, but just that I had an interest in orchids in the 1970s. We spent a lot of time walking around and nothing was really going on at that time. I was able to get as much lead as I could, as I wanted. And I know the thrill of finding something new in the Botanical. Thank you very much for taking us through this very interesting story. And I hope that you will succeed in producing more plants. And that you will find the secret of that always become chemical or mycorrhizal inputs that are needed that make this plant survive and grow and for the plants that become sure. There are probably a lot of bacteriological or microbiological work that needs doing on the habitat, for habitat to enable the cultivation, exclusive cultivation. So I think there's a lot of work that needs doing in the future. I hope to get all the encouragement and facilities and support that you need. The National Botanical Gardens, has been one of the success stories in the country. As opposed to the Roscoe side of things, that these gardens are doing a lot of research, supporting research as well. Thank you very much, Bhathiya, and I wish you all success in the future.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you for everyone who joined online. I'm sure you enjoyed this fascinating talk.
Thank you.
It will be available on our YouTube channel. shortly. Thank you and good night.